order to move. We must have chaos in order to find a way out and elevate humanity to the next level of existence. No one moves from their position of comfort unless made very uncomfortable. We can sit on a stove all day until somebody builds a fire.
Right. Right.
We can be very comfortable there.
Right. I've always talked about that. It's unfortunate that we tend to learn more through pain than we do through pleasure.
Yes.
I mean, we would go on forever and ever, if we don't have something that stops and sticks us in the rear and causes us to jump and look around and,
yes.
see what's going on. So in your particular case, you mentioned that you had reached your bottom. You had reached a point of despair and what have you. And why do you think you were singled out for this type of epiphany or this type of revelation?
I was not singled out. It is available to all beings ad infinitum. There's a statement someone once made about the chosen people. God does not choose people, people choose God. I chose to find out the truth. Now, I was not a religious person. I was very mean, very contemptible, conniving, lying, cheating.
Oh, really? Oh, no.
Oh, yes.
That couldn't have been you.
Oh, yes. But for the first time, because I was at that bottom, I had to really want to survive and want to know. That's what made it happen. And that is available to every human being. But you have to really want to know. In my lectures, I'll often say to people, you want to know how bad you want this? You have to want this? Here's what I'm going to tell you to do. Hold your breath until I tell you to breathe. And then I get up and leave. And I'll come back sometime later and say, well, everybody's breathing. I said, well, how badly did you want that breath? That's how badly you have to want knowledge. And when you want it that badly, you get it. You go and get it. It's all right here in front of each and every one of us. We breathe it in every day. It comes in through the tops of our head. It is what we are. We are truth. And all we need do is give up that prevents us from seeing it. And the joy of being, the joy of life is there. So I chose myself.
That's always been one of my favorite sayings. The chosen few choose themselves. And apparently you're a personification of that.
Thank you.
What would you, if I had to ask you one major idea that you would share with our viewing audience about what they could do to turn their lives around right now? You've said several things, but if you can just say one other thing that would help people move from where they are, and to go to a different space, so to speak, what would you tell them?
Surrender. Surrender all things. I believe it was Jesus who said, render unto Caesar that which is Caesar's. Form. Surrender. Let go of everything you think you know. Because if the cup is full, nothing else can enter. One of the things, and I was all those other things, but I was also very intelligent. I was really bright.
Well, that's obvious. That's obvious from your book. I mean, I'm just meeting you, but that's obvious to me.
In being that, I realized at that moment, everything I thought I knew, even when I was right, I was wrong. Because I was right for the wrong reason. I knew all this stuff. I had these words, and I used them to con. Oh, women, oh, God, I love them. I still do. I just love them differently now. I love them so much I had to have 1,000 of them. Well, I don't suppose there's anything wrong with that as long as you're honest about it. I was dishonest about it, and that I did not allow people their own choice to say, this is what I am. Would you like to share your life with me? That's where I was. Okay. At that moment, I realized all the crap I had said was true. I just didn't know it was true. That's what I mean when I say you have to give up everything. In order to know, you can't know. You have to give it up and see. You can't own it.
You know, that sounds so difficult.
It's not.
It sounds so difficult. I mean, because, you know, we've been told to move ourselves out of the way and to surrender. You know, that's the whole notion of, spirituality, basically, surrender, change your thinking, or remove your, or stop thinking.
Yes.
Still your thoughts.
I'm sorry.
It seems to be so difficult.
I have techniques from the old mystery schools that we use. One involves feeling, and exercises that I give for people to use with their feelings. These exercises will put you in a place where you have no choice. They are difficult, but they require the hand of someone who has gone down that path before.
Now, how did you come upon this?
Everything that ever was is. Everything that will ever be is now. And this point, everything is received into that point when it's empty.
Well, once again, easier said than done. I mean, I understand you and understand. I understand your words, but not the essence of the words.
Yes.
Because it takes. You have to reach that point where you experience it to understand what you're talking about.
You have to come to the pain. We must come to the pain. You see, pain is life's way of telling you to move.
Oh, yes.
So, when we have the pain, it is the opportune moment to understand, to let go, and know what we know instinctively inside ourselves. To get the answer. Don't look for the answer out here. The answer's in here.
Yes,
So when we do that and it hurts, what do? What do people do when they hurt? They want to get away from the hurt.
Right.
No. Embrace it.
They should observe it and see what it is that is causing the pain.
Yes. Embrace it.
That's one lesson I've learned very well. I've learned a whole lot from, because when you're in it, if you embrace it, then it becomes altogether different. It's like the boogeyman, The boogeyman can scare you as long as you can't see him.
Yes.
But the minute you turn the light on and look at the boogeyman, well, the boogeyman can't hurt you anymore.
That's right.
So I do understand that aspect of it. What about people who, you mentioned, once again, getting back to the notion of teachers and teaching, you made a statement about that was, I'm paraphrasing you, but it has to do with those who feel they have to teach. In other words, there's a level beyond being a teacher.
Yes.
So could you, and I've always thought that part of what life is about is reaching back and making sure that we all evolve, because life is only as strong as the weakest link.
Yes.
So I mean, that in Buddhism, the notion of bodhisattvas,
yes,
they come back and try to help. So say a little bit about that, moving beyond the need to help those who, may or may not want help
Yes.
at a certain point.
Well, there's a difference. So those who feel they must teach, that is rooted in their own insecurity. Okay? I teach because someone asked me. Someone says, I'm in pain. And I say, well, perhaps I can help you. Perhaps I can help you help yourself. See, within me, it is not a need. I do it because what else do you do for someone you love but give them the best that you have to offer? You do that to your brother, to your sister. And they're all my brothers and sisters. They're all our brothers and sisters. Even the dog people, the frog people, the cat people.
The ant people.
The ant people, yes. They're all our brothers and sisters. So what do? We extend that hand to those who extend their hand to us. So it depends upon the individual. If the individual has that need, then there's something wrong in them. And if I have a need to teach, I will not give you my best because I have a motive, a hidden agenda.
That's an interesting way to say it. That's an interesting idea.
Yes. If I don't have that idea, I can just tell you the truth. I cannot become a weight that forces you. I can stand back and let you do what you need to do.
How would you look at this, for example, with, let's go back to young people today.
Mm-hmm.
Many of the young people are, in my opinion, at a disadvantage because they are being coerced into certain thought patterns.
Yes.
By media, by commercialism, propaganda.
Yes.
They're being forced into the consumer consciousness mode. All the stuff that is keeping people, encouraging people to have short attention spans and to not really look at the big things, important things in life. And so many of our young people have become disaffected. Many of them are killing one another and just losing faith in life.
Yes.
Wouldn't you think that these people need to be reached out to?
Oh, yes, definitely. As a matter of fact, about maybe a year ago, I decided I was done. And as I moved away from what I was doing, the understanding of what needed to be done came. I have a program called the Grandparents Program. It's modeled after what happened to me. I've been reading since I was 3 years old. The reason for that is every day that I could remember, in the morning, my grandmother held me in her arms, sitting on her lap, and read the newspaper, pointing to words. Just one day it made sense. It was placed in me at a point so early in time. That's one of the good gestalts. That was my earliest memory. So one of the things that with this grandparents program that I have is we want people who are older to take babes in arms and just read to them. If you can read, you can visit other worlds and have other ideas.
Right.
Other than those ideas of those people around you who are going to keep you moored to the earth. Gangbanging, stealing, consumer, just inundated with these things. Now you have the power of choice. Before that, they don't have the power of choice. And one of the things you do is you always attack a problem at its base. You start there. We are also a group in New York. I travel around a lot. We are also bringing it together. We're starting to raise funds so that we can develop the proper kind of community in which to deal with children who don't have the opportunity. To deal with children, help them understand themselves, help them understand who they are. And I don't mean who they are in terms of a culture. I mean who they are that creates the culture. So, yes, I do believe in guidance. You have to guide people through a thinking process. Most of us have thoughts. We do not think.
So one is an active thing and one is passive?
Yes. One, the assumption, the idea comes up, oh, I have a thought. I think, no, that's an automatic response action. To think, to ponder, to look at all the parts objectively. And let the question answer itself. This is what Einstein did. This is what all great thinkers do. They allow the elements of the question to answer itself.
Every cause has an effect.
Yes.
So if you ask a question, the answer has to be there.
Yes.
Okay. We only have a short period of time left now, only about 5 minutes. I'm telling you, time flies when you're having fun.
Yes, it does.
But you mentioned, you talked in the book about the whole notion of holding a thought for, a pure thought for an instant.
Yes.
And creating reality with
yes.
that. Can you? I think that would be one good thought to leave our viewing audience with.
Yes, if you can hold a thought in a vacuum.
Now, what do you mean in a vacuum? I know vacuum means nothing else is around.
Yes, no other thoughts, no doubts, no insecurities. You know, you've had those moments. Suddenly, you did the right thing. You were so focused in what you were doing, bang. You were so focused in what you did there, all of a sudden it became crystal clear to you about your numbers. Okay. To hold a thought in a vacuum, that thought becomes reality. Not true, but reality.
Reality. That's very interesting, the difference.
This is a mental universe. It's an electromagnetic universe. Everything comes together like this to form. The ideas of God form mass. They came together. Nothing, no thing, N-O-T-H-I-N-G.
I understand.
Became so dense, it became nothing. The basis of the physical universe, which kept constricting, and as you see it, space itself is a thing. So from space to air to water to rock to metal. So when you hold that thought in a vacuum, the elements come together and form the events of our time and the events of our lives. It is natural. It is what we do. We create our world. We literally create it. That's why now, in terms of war and things like that, we must understand this comes out of our own consciousness.
Yes.
We change the consciousness, we change the outcome.
I concur with you 100%. One real quick final thought. You do go around teaching, right? Do you say that you teach? You go around and you share your ideas with others?
Yes, I don't say I'm a teacher really, because to teach implies learning, and I can't do anything about the other half. So I facilitate.
Oh, so you're a facilitator.
I suppose, yes.
All right. Well, this has been very, very interesting, and I have really a million other questions that your ideas have caused me to, we don't have time to deal with them, but I do believe your book is really good. It's called I'm Not Coming Back, Talks with Ananda Abinou, and it's edited by K.M. Anderson. So we can't sell things on, I can't tell you to buy this or anything because we're non-commercial television. But I am so very happy to have Mr. Abinou as a guest here and sharing his great thoughts with us for the short period of time that you have. Perhaps at one point, sometime in the future, you'll be able to come back on again, and maybe we can go over this a little bit more if you're so inclined.
I would be happy to.
Okay. Well, thank you very much. This has been wonderful. My guest has been Ananda Abinou. He is an author, teacher, and just a very great all-around enlightened person, if you don't mind my saying that.
Thank you.
I am Dr. Yaounde Olu. I am your host for Astropoint. This is a new science forum. I hope we have shared some ideas with you today that will help you until the next program, or until you find your own peace and your own space in whatever way. But anyway, stay tuned until the next program. Peace.